reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network.
Monique. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Say hello to my, yes, please say hello to my Facebook friends.
Facebook family. Facebook friends.
Okay, then I would bring out Krystal Barrett. I'm like, come on, bring them out. Hi, Krystal, say hello to my HopeMORE family.
Hello, HopeMORE family.
Yes, come on now. I love it. You guys, I love it. So, okay, so today's topic is love more friends. Love more friends. And I just want to explain a little bit why I called it Love More Friends. This is really about, during the month of February, we know that we celebrate, romantic love. And we often, for those who are single, we always celebrate like loving ourselves, or the idea of like, it don't matter, I'm good all by myself. But you know what? The older I get, the more I really appreciate embracing the love I have and not always looking for the love I don't have or being unsatisfied because maybe the love I want is not yet present. But I have really good family, I have really great friends, and a lot of people are wandering in this world without either. So I'm so blessed. And so today's show, I wanted, in the spirit of Love More February, talk about ways that we can love our friends more, or some would say love our friends better. So I'm hoping that between Krystal, Monique, and I, that we can encourage other people in their friendships at whatever age or whatever stage they're in to find ways to love your friends more. Because would y'all agree that sometimes, especially when you've been friends a long time, that you can sort of not necessarily think, oh, that friend needs me as much because you oh, they have this, they have that. But often these are years, now that we're in our 40s, they are the years that we may need friendship in a different way, even in a more intense way. So let's start off with Monique Pula. So what do you think where you are right now when it comes to friends and your status of friend mode of caring for your friends or you being cared for by your friends?
Well, it's a kind of a difficult season just because when you have, 4 kids that are all super active and involved in stuff, and then I'm working full time, my husband's working full time, there's really no extra time for I don't say there's no time for friends, because there is, and it's really annoying because Friday nights you'll be sitting there oh, I wish I had some friends that I could just call up really quick and go somewhere with. But that requires a certain level of relationship, which we have not had the time to do over the past several years. And we've been in small groups for church and things like that, but that they haven't been friendships that have clicked to where you can be yeah, girl, okay, I'm gonna come right now. Let's go out now. Bye, see you later. I need those kind of friends where I can 30 minutes or the day before be okay, we're going to dinner tomorrow night. Okay, bye. And unfortunately, sadly, we don't have any of those kind of friends in Texas. And I don't want to say that it's our fault because we have made the effort to get involved in church small group. I've tried to, connect with different moms here and there, and I've prayed, and it's okay, God, if you're not going to send me those kind of friends, then I'm just going to be content with my virtual friends, back in Atlanta and in Florida. And, it's hard. I don't know why it seems so hard. And then the one time that I did get excited because I thought I was going to have this really cool friend. Me and the mom super clicked. Our 2 daughters clicked, but then we tried to get the whole family together because really at this stage, you kind of have to have the whole family together. And the husbands didn't click. A couple of the kids didn't click. And Okay, and there's only so much, okay, I can meet you for lunch on 20 minutes on Friday that I can, do outside of the rest of my family. Right. So I don't know. It's been tough. It's been tough.
Because you live in Texas now and you're from California and you spent quite a bit of time in Atlanta. And for those of you, I know you can tell by just our glory that we are all Spelman College graduates. We're all Spelmanites. Woohoo! Woohoo! And we all, yay, Jennifer Bliss. Yes, she's a reunion up here. Spelman has amazing alum. Most recently, my friend, class of 1995, Stacey Abrams, has set the world on fire. So, she's just one of many brilliant people. But we all met in Atlanta, and we both, Krystal is still in the metro Atlanta area, but we all was there for years and years and years. Monique was the first to fly and go to Texas with her husband and 4 kids. And Krystal's in metro Atlanta with her husband and 3 kids. And I decided to relocate in the top 2 75-year-olds, well, they're 76 in a few months, and come back to Florida. So we have a Florida, Texas, Georgia thing going on. And so we all have sort of gone through this sort of situation where you're really, really close to a lot of people you really care about and friends. And except for Krystal, but Krystal, you did experience separation, but in a different way. And you can discuss it if you want or not. But we all have had to sort of shift, we all have to shift. So Krystal, what are your sort of introductory thoughts about friendship and loving friends or being loved by friends in this season, or even just anything, especially some of the things Monique shared? Anything you want to start us off with thinking about?
Well, I do want to say I love Monique because she keeps it real and she is very authentic. So even in starting this conversation, she started off in such a place of authenticity that I just appreciate. I think it's one of the things that I love about her. But yeah, I do love you. But you mentioned just how hard it is. So now that we are in this stage of life where our kids are growing and our families are growing, and hoping you with your career and then your family's in a different stage, it does seem to be a little bit more difficult. And I mentioned you mentioned how, for me, being in the same city, you would think that, gosh, the friendships that we developed for 20-something years are still strong and what they were before. And it just didn't happen like that for us. About 15 years ago, we went through a really tough time where it seemed like we lost all of our friends. And it's so funny. I was thinking about this in preparation for this time here. I think that because of Hope, your persistence and Monique's persistence to remain friends with me is probably why we are still friends. Because you guys, were this situation isn't going to break our relationship, and we are going to kind of stay in this boat and hold on. And that kind of situation where, when you finish crying, I'll still be sitting here. That kind, to put it into words. But saying that, being in Atlanta and kind of going through this period where I was like, God, where are those chill girls? Where are those people that I can just kind of chill with, those real knitted heart to heart? And I was sharing with you guys with Hope earlier, that it wasn't until I kind of rested from that yearning and said, God, I'm going to lean into who was with me, who I have, even if it is from a distance. I'm just going to lean into who I have. I'm going to lean into, Hope and Monique. I'm going to lean into my sisters, even though they don't live here, but I'm going to lean into those relationships that I felt like the Lord began to satisfy that desire in my heart. And so, yes, it is not easy. Even the potentials, like Monique mentioned, a potential girlfriend who, could be something in Texas, even those potential people that I see, have some seeds of quality relationship in, all that stuff takes time. And we're in such a season of our life where the kids and spouses, they just require more. And so it's you don't want to overcommit what I can't deliver on. And so I'm like, God, you're just going to have to show us. you're going to have to. I said, I'm going to treasure what I have until you see fit to give me more. We were talking about, I'm going to be quiet after this. Ironically enough, I was having a conversation with my sister, who is spending more time now. My mom, since my father has passed away, is, you know, she's retired, she's home. And my sister's like, mommy's on the phone all the time with friends. And we're like, that's not how she was growing up because she was so busy. But now she is, you know,
she got time today.
She got time to sow into relationships and to really enjoy them. And so I just think we can't dismiss the seasons, you know.
Wow. Well, guys, Krystal, you're following Monique. Y'all are being really vulnerable right off. And I really appreciate you sharing what you shared, because we, as friends grow, there's so many things that vie for our attention, things that we celebrate, right? I remember crying at Krystal's wedding, like at the end of the wedding when you guys were walking out, because it hit me like, she really is like married now. That's going to change our friendship forever. The whole wedding, I'm like, cute. I'm like, I'm not crying. We got pictures, and y'all start walking out the door. So we have things that we celebrate, right? That we love. And I'm trying different angles. So I'm liking seeing y'all closer because I don't got glasses on. But we try, you know, we have, and then like your friends start having babies. We celebrate that. But the cares of real little people takes up a lot of time. And then you have like things like, oh, a good job or opportunity. I remember saying goodbye to Monique and Joshua and the kids, and I was just like, wow, you know, especially because for those of you who don't know, Monique and her husband have historically been very into missions, and now he's doing entrepreneurial stuff. But I was just like, these people may be living in Timbuktu one day. Like I really thought, I'm sort of embarrassed to share this, I prayed that when we graduated Spelman, Krystal and I are class of 96, Monique's class of 97, that we would all, like, even if we went to grad school or whatever, because I knew I was going to go to law school, that afterwards we will all get married, have children, and live in the same neighborhood. I really thought this is my kids are going to grow up with their kids, and we're just going to be, you know, we're going to be them old ladies on the porch. So, you know, seeing Monique, but even before Monique left, there was separations that wasn't celebrated. You put it on your phone. Where, you know, not to get deep into all that situation, I'll let that be Krystal's story. But for those of you, and so many people are commenting, but for those of you who've ever been friends that also was like at the same church, or you work together, or you're in the same type of social group, and there's some type of falling out, something that doesn't happen in a way that you would want your friends to be treated, what happened, or to be treated that way, and they're no longer a part of that church, they're no longer part of that job, they're no longer part of that social club, and they are rightfully angry because they were not treated well. And you still got friends that are in that group, that church, and so that workplace you work. And that happened in our friendship circle. And I'm really glad that, because I was like, we were friends before this church. But also, you guys came from the great New Generation Ministry. We're friends before New Generation Ministry. And even if we weren't, I don't care about everybody, but you, I'm not going to lose. And, you know, so when people and friends go through a lot of life changes, there are friendships that are for a season, and you have to let them go and love the memory of them. But then there's some people who are there for the long haul, and I believe y'all are there in my life for the long haul. We may not talk, we may go through a year and hardly talk, and then talk for 2 hours every other day for a month, but you're in my life for a long haul. And so one of the things I definitely like is that in the midst of our things that will pull us apart, we've sort of fought to stay friends. And it's almost like a marriage in that it's not like equal, it's not 33%. It's like whoever got it on their heart to make something happen, calls and makes something happen. And let me tell you, this is free for y'all. If you are a person that's sort of high maintenance, and if your really good friend forgets, say, your birthday, or doesn't call you on your anniversary, or you had some big thing to happen and they weren't able to go and celebrate with you, do not stay in your feelings and be like, you know what, I'm not calling them. I've seen so many people get rid of really good friendships because they were all in their feelings. Like, I was like, I have high-powered friends who got things going on. if you don't remember my birthday, guess what? I will call you and say, hey, it's my birthday. I'll never forget one birthday, Monique didn't hear from us. And I was just, she has a family. She has so much. And, you know, you called us, but by the time I called, I remember at one point, maybe it was later, you shared, like, my feelings are really hurt. Like, you know, that's what we do. We do a bunch of Christmas gifts. We don't do all that stuff, but we try to get together between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and we try to remember each other's birthday. And so, but if she would have stayed in her feelings and not got over it, because she told us, like, that hurt up my feelings. Like that one little offense over time, we could be like, well, what happened to Monique? She doesn't hang out, call. And we're like, girl, in 1995, you forgot my birthday. You know, like, we could still be doing life together. So I, particularly women, if we could just like let things go, forgive people quickly, be okay with telling someone, hey, I need you, you know, or hey, call and check up on me, or what you did hurt my feelings, or so be honest about your situation, but don't let go of those friends that you really feel like are called for the long haul. So yeah, I just go ahead, Krystal.
Well, no. I just wanted to comment on that real quick. I think you were talking about how Monique was really open to tell us, like, hey, y'all forgot my birthday. One of the things that I have learned in this friendship group, because everybody, you know, we're who we are, right? And we have our flaws. We're imperfect beings.
What flaws?
What? As perfect as we are, we're but
honey.
But one of the things I have really appreciated is that we give each other space to love each other at the level at which we are, you know? So it's like, we don't have, like, I know, I'm gonna use you, Hope. I know that, you know, you have so much going on, and Monique as well, that there's no talking for an hour every night, every day of the year. It's just not gonna happen, you know?
Or if we talk for a long time, we're gonna be brushing teeth and rolling hair.
Yeah. But
yelling at kids. Yeah.
And it's like, we just have to kind of give each other space to be who we are in whatever season we're in. And that has helped us, you know, it has helped, I think, preserve our relationship. And it's helped us to keep our relationship in perspective, that, you know, because the friendship is about what I can be for you versus what you can be for me. And I think that's hard sometimes for people to realize, because we're all on our personal needs being met. But if we can really focus on what I can be for you, how I can be that cheerleader for you, how I can support you in what you're doing, you know, as best I can, because we're all in 3 different worlds. But if we can kind of give each other space to be who they are, then we won't be in our feelings as much. And sometimes I win that game, sometimes I lose it, but you know, it's still a try.
You know what, Krystal, that is so good. And that's something I think that's actually a great place. Well, I would say we've already sort of had 2 points. And if you guys know us, or we can talk. And if we're friends of yours personally or have been, then I'm so excited. We got so many comments and questions. If you have questions or things you want us to address, thank you, Jennifer Bliss. Please post them, because I will definitely try to get to them shortly. But I think one great point, besides, like, you know, giving your friendship sort of like space with all the changes, but like you said, when you can get together, craft it in a way that works. Because if we're trying, I learned the hard way, Jennifer, talking about one of your things. Jennifer had this question. Sometimes lifelong friends look like WW2 vets that get together for reunions. But she asked, Hope, can you also shed a little realness for our single ladies with married sister friends? Yes. When I was going to mention that, like, also getting together in a real way is also having to adjust. I was used to having you guys to myself. Krystal and Roy didn't start having children right away. She got married while I was in law school. Monique got married in August after I graduated law school. So there was a space even when they got married. And when I came to town, you know, I sort of felt special, like, Hope's in town. What are we going to do? I would grab them, like, we could go. And so, you know, their husbands would appease me, because I'm who I am, and I was only going to be there for a second. But when they started having children, I was like always wanting to get together with them without the children. I'm going to be a mother one day, but I wasn't feeling maternity at that time, or maternal. And so it hit me, and maybe they actually said it, but it hit me like, if I want to hang with them, most likely I need to go to their house or go to somewhere kid-friendly. And then for you all to have multiples, it didn't matter. You're going to have like one child with you often. But you guys want to get away as well. But I was like, okay, to love my friend more, if I want to get with them, I need to be totally like with the default that one of them little childs are going to be with us. And what I really appreciated was that I think it made me fall in love with your kids more, because I'm like, they're going to have to get used to me. And I think I have special, unique experiences with like every child that you guys have, all 7 of your children, because of something, whether I had to drive them to school and I was trying to be Black mama and they were looking at me like I'm crazy, or or babysitting, which I did a lot, so I ain't even gonna pretend. And once crying, saying, "Why did she leave her here?" Ryan Barrett, that was a shout out to you. Like, why are you crying about your mom leaving your sister? But having to be flexible as a single woman with kids. And I'm gonna say this last part, I'm gonna ask you guys if you find yourself having to change, because the numbers really are more in your favor, like more people, probably your friends that got married than stay single. But another is that, especially you guys went ham when you got children, maybe because I sort of knew or at least Roy, didn't know Joshua as much. I really felt it not so much when you guys got married, but when you had children, like Monique and Krystal have started this whole like offshoot. I call it an offshoot. They wouldn't be like, Hope, you can't hear this. But their life situation was more parallel than mine. So it's like, oh my God, if they keep talking about motherhood for the next 30 minutes, that's going to be all the dinner. But it's like, okay, well, let me learn. Let me prepare. And it didn't bother me. Sometimes my mother would bother me about it. Like, don't you feel bad that your friends are having all these kids and you don't have any children? I'm like, whoa, but for the most part, I was like, well, that's good. I'm glad that they have each other, to talk war stories with. So you guys have any experience about having maybe single friends being married with kids? Or it may not be, I don't know, you're like, whatever.
No, I think as much as you were feeling that whole, gosh, they're not as free as they were before, we were feeling the same thing. Like, oh, I want to go hang out. I want to go. And especially when you were traveling, like, I want to go travel. But, it's the season of life, right? And we all were just different stages of this path that we chose, and so we had to kind of stay in this boat and know that our time would come.
Yes, and I think you took it like a champ, Hope, just becoming the like super auntie role.
Yeah.
Just like you said, driving kids here. When you came to Texas, you went to Serena's soccer games for me. I remember that. You were like, Sarah, get mommy cheering Serena on. So I remember that, and I really appreciate it. Just all the how you've helped Natalia so much, and like you said, those gatherings that we have once a year, they always have side talks with Auntie Hopi.
I love that. I feel like I'm holding court. Like, yes, what wisdom do you all need from your blackity black auntie? That's what I said. Monique is probably going to get a little mad with me, but Monique is biracial and she's married to a beautiful Georgian white guy. And so her middle daughter that has like lighter hair and like green eyes, I think somebody was picking on her because they didn't believe her when she said like my grandfather is black or was black. And I was like, you tell them if they don't stop messing with you, your blackity black auntie gonna come down there. Or like, Krystal's oldest son, he thinks I like have so much. I don't know why. Does he?
I think he just thinks you are a part of the Black Panther Party again.
He thinks I'm the most wokest Black Lives Matter person in the world. And so I like really enjoy like his listening when I'm trying to give him the real way. It's fun. So I get to play mama sometimes when I'm with them. And I feel like I can say stuff to their kids that they have said or want to say, but their kids roll their eyes. Like, I'll tell them like, all right now, like for a second, I told their middle son, Ryan, Krystal's son, like, you know, he had his little shirt off. I'm like, well, you know what, you cute, but keep it holy. Not until marriage, you know, like just throw it in there. Whew, and come
And
out.
we appreciate that.
Yes. Or even having faith for Natalia with her school stuff and getting scholarships. You're like, we don't pay for college. And Natalia's like, I'm going to be in so much debt. I said, where is your faith? I'm going to tell Auntie Hope.
Yes, we don't. Yes, Natalia. And the fact that you both have graduating seniors this year, what is that about? So I think sometimes, whether it's, you know, your single friend who may have more freedom to like go travel, even though Monique be going with 2 children under one arm, each arm, or, you know, or the comparison, like the idea of comparing, like my bestie college friends are on graduating seniors and I'm praying to have a baby before I'm 50. So it's just like, you gotta really like try to care because your calling in life is so different. I think it's harder for singles, especially in your 40s, because now most of your friends are definitely married with probably a couple of kids graduating or soon to graduate.
Right. One of the things that I really appreciate with you guys is that, and I think this is a sign that you know that you have a real friend, is that they jump into your life just like you're willing to jump into theirs. So like even when Monique and I are talking about whatever it is, whatever kid, you know, whether we're sending an emergency text, this is what was just said, I need y'all to pray. It's like your attention, you know, both of your attention, like you get 100% in that with me, you know, and that is like so treasured. And I think that when you're questioning, you know, if anybody is like questioning, gosh, is that a real friend? Is that not a real friend? One, of course, obviously giving a person an opportunity to get 100% in something with you. But if you see that they're in that with you, in whatever that struggle is, like that's something to be treasured and not to be taken lightly. So I just remember when my dad was dying, or maybe it was like right after he died, and I called you, Hopi. I was on my way home and I was just like done. I was done. I was done with life. I was done with the cycle of life. I was just done. And I just screamed it all out. And they were like, okay. And then it was like, you know, then we had to move on to what reality was. But just somebody.
Let me tell you, Krystal, when you called me when you were down.
Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network.
Attention ministry leaders. Have you ever considered growing your ministry with television? Well, the Daily Gospel Network could be what you've been looking for. As one of the nation's largest Christian broadcasting companies, the Daily Gospel Network broadcasts all over the world on popular streaming platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire,